Good morning everyone, welcome to this week's vlog. This week I actually have a show jumping lesson and I haven't had a jumping lesson in over 2 years, which is absolutely terrible. I know. Lessons are just quite expensive and I keep putting it off and say, oh, I'll do a show instead because I get loads of fun out of that. And what I should be doing is training. But I am pretty good at sort of shouting at myself when I'm riding, and that's why I nearly video everything as well, so then I can look it back and sort of go, that was dreadful. So yeah, I have a jumping lesson with Will. Finley is still recovering, so he's just going to do a bit of walk and trot work today. The lovely Will has a lesson today and I've clipped him out especially for the occasion. Hello! He doesn't know it yet obviously because he's being friendly. But he's so cute now he's been clipped. He was just so hairy. He's a proper hairy Connie and he goes like a fluff ball. He's been sweating quite a lot when I've been riding him. So he's all clipped out. Finley's ignoring me because I'm not riding him enough, so he's in a strop. But yes, I have a jumping lesson with this lady called Justine. She does a lot of eventing and hunting and knows what she's doing. So I'm going to get all my jumps out, build a bit of a course, and this is our first lesson, so I'm guessing she's just gonna watch and give me some pointers for how awful we are. Positivity. The thing is, we can get over the jumps. It's the style we get over the jumps in. As you know, working hunter is all about looking pretty, using your space, and with Will we end up cutting all the corners, and I do this with my arms, like, because he is quite lazy, so I end up like using my body to try and get him to go faster, and that's one of the actions I do. Jockeying it. So hopefully she's going to help me, and I also want to get my arms more forward when I go over a jump, because Finley is quite cheeky. If I fully give, he sometimes drops his shoulder and dumps me at a fence. So I never do the full extension of the arms when I'm going over a jump. So hopefully she can help with that as well. I'm going to get Fanny Adams in, give him a brush, clean him up, and our lesson is at 11. So he's just come in the stable and now you can see his clip. Can't we, handsome? He just gets really hot, so I've given him a full clip and a half face. I don't know whether you can see that, because he hates having his ears done. And you can see now all these little scars and holes where Finley's taking chunks out of him. Sad, isn't it, baby? But he does feel much more comfortable now. Hey, you itchy. Good boy. Right, we're going to go and build... Oh, you itchy? We're going to go build some jumps in the school, ready for our lesson. I'm just going to put up a little course and get everything out so she doesn't have to. And we can work on us rather than using her time to put jumps out and things. So, Will, what do you think? Big jumps, little jumps, all the fillers? He says, bare minimum, please. So this is my jump selection, and I started off originally with just like a rustic course of jumps, but they all rotted. And I was really lucky to manage to purchase some of these jump cross jumps from one of the old jump cross courses, and she also had some poly jumps, so I managed to get like a bit of a deal of poly jumps. And then there's some that were already here for the other liveries, and we all just share like most livery yards do. And then this random wool thing I actually found in a ditch dumped on a track when I was riding, and I said, oh my god, would that not make the perfect like wool filler? And it was just like that weird yellow. I don't even know what it's made of, but it is plastic, and I don't know what it was designed for, but I spray painted it pink and it literally makes the perfect kind of like wool filler, and it is the perfect size of the poles as well, so I got really lucky with that. So this is my finished course I've made. Obviously the instructor might want to do something completely different and the jumps might get completely rearranged anyway, but everything's out now. So we've got a bit of a spread fence here, and then we've got one across the diagonal, a bit of an upright with a few little blocks underneath, And then I've put a double in because we are rubbish at doubles, with the wall in, and then one with some bigger wings on a 2-stride double. But Will has really small strides, so even though I've counted it as 2 horse strides, it will probably be 3 of Will's strides because he's tiny. But everything's out, like all the poles and stuff, so she can rearrange stuff as and how she wants. And we've got like a bit of a course, but we will see. She might want to do grids, she might want to do cross poles. She's never seen me before or how I jump, so we will see. But I'm really looking forward to it, actually. Will hasn't jumped in a week. I only jump him once a week. He is quite lazy and he gets quite bored, so I try and do something with him different every day and just do jumping once a week, because I want him to be pumped up and excited, because I get a lot more out of him than when he's grumpy and lazy. And you might see today, he literally does 20 minutes, half an hour, and then he's like, what's the point? And he gets a bit like, can't be bothered, and tends to knock them down. So I will tell her that, and maybe we'll do, it sounds silly, but like if you want to do bigger jumps, you're better off doing it at the beginning and then winding things down, because he has more energy, he's more excited, and he tends to go better, and then he gets a bit flat and had enough towards the end. So that's our arena ready for jumping. It's 10 minutes until Justine's going to come, and I thought I'd just borrow my friend's massage pad. So Will's all warmed up and his muscles are getting soft and ready for his lesson. And he's actually quite enjoying it, aren't you? Even though you've got grumpy ears on. Yeah, this is from Equisage, and it's one of the older models, but they work the same, and you just stick them on. I have used them before on the dressage yard I used to work at, and I've just put it on gently because he's never had one on before, and he's sort of like, So yeah, and they are used especially for horses that are a bit stiff or a bit cold backed. They're supposed to be really good, so I thought I'd just stick it on him. I got it to just borrow really for Finley because he's obviously been out of work a week. He is 13 and he is a little bit stiff to ride sometimes anyway, so I thought I would try it with him to see if it made any difference. But as it's here, Will's enjoying a little pre-jump massage. Is it going to make you jump bigger? Yeah? You're going to jump amazing? So I have just finished my lesson, as you can tell from my raspberry face, and we were really impressed with Justine. We started off by doing some poles because his trot is really choppy. I mean, he is really rinky-dinky little pony paces. So we did an exercise just to try and get him to lengthen his trot strides because he's all engine and no front. So what I had to do was just slow the trot down, let him go into like more of a natural rhythm instead of me pushing him out of his stride, and then just try and push my leg on him and lift myself and lift him up to encourage him to do bigger steps. So we started off with that. Then we went over a couple of jumps so she could kind of assess where we're at and how we jump. And we were a bit, what I do basically is because Finley saves me and jumps everything from 1,000,000 miles away, I expect Will to do the same. So I go into a fence, 100 miles an hour, push him on and ask him to jump off from 1,000,000 miles away. He jumps flat and demolishes it. So I had to lift my hands right up and keep him really up into the bridle, let him go into his natural canter stride and me not fiddle, and let the jump come to me and let him figure it out. So we did that for a bit, and then when he got a bit flatter and a bit tireder after his 20-minute session, then I sort of had to like kick him and lift him over the jumps and kick him sort of when you are kind of like a stride out to get him to lift and flick his back end. And he did a couple of fences so beautifully. He really flicked behind like a little show jumping pony. And then we did like a bit of a course. I think there was, yeah, we kept the course the same, but we just did like one jump, then sort of two together, and then till we did like all four at the end. And then I did one part of the double like on a diagonal as well, just basically keeping the rhythm. And when we land, we usually go disunited, and then I have to come bring him back and get into the right lead before we go into the next fence. And it was just doing that quicker because I was just slacking really, I was just chilling, and then we'd come into the next fence without the canter rhythm and we'd demolish it. So it was all about establishing that canter and getting him up, because he sort of, when he isn't up in my hand, he goes into an outline and he's like la 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 la, and then he's not actually looking at the jumps. So it was, I've really got something to work on, keeping him up, lifted, not messing with his stride, just letting the jumps come to me and getting the rhythm before I go into the fence. So I'm really looking forward to booking another lesson because that was fantastic. And we both had a good workout. Will was super sweaty as well. And maybe, she said, we're going to try perhaps the odd wooden pole because he doesn't have that much respect for the plastic poles. I mean, he was fairly good to be honest, this time, but we'll try with some rustic fences too. So yeah, overall really, really good, and I'm feeling super positive and motivated to practice and work on that. Justine also is quite a big part of the hunt, so we might go out and do some hunting with them as well, which is also fabulous for Will, and he absolutely loves it. He is looking super sweaty and melted. I have washed him, but he rubs on the door, which is all grubby. I mean, I tried to wash his nose and round his ears, but you don't like it, do you? But you were brilliant today, William, and he enjoyed his little pre-session massage. Finley is now having a massage, aren't you, Finny? So nice. When I put it on him, I thought, oh my god, he's going to freak out, because he literally freaks out by everything, don't you? But it wasn't. It was nice. So yeah, Finley's having a little massage, and Finley's just going to be going for a hack today, because we're just sort of walking and trotting him at the minute. I don't want him to pull any of his stitches out. If you don't follow me on Instagram, Finley's got melanomas. He's had some melanoma surgery on his bum. So he's got some stitches in there, so he's just taking things easy at the minute, aren't you, buddy? And maybe in a couple of weeks we'll start cantering and jumping again. He says, excuse me, that's my thing, and I should be doing it, not that little brat. Will says, I don't mind him doing it, because I don't like doing nothing. I just like sleeping. Good boy. Yes, I'm going to take him for a nice hack in the woods. Good boy. I'm really excited for this pony, that he is going to bring me amazing things. I mean, it is about having fun, and we do have fun, but would it not be amazing if we could do some Royal International qualifiers next year, jumping? Look at his face. No mum, I don't think so. How about a pleasure ride? My aim is for next year to be able to do like a course of 90 at a show, because I'm currently jumping maybe like 70, 80 at a show, and at home we do bigger, but when I get to a show I kind of put loads of pressure on myself and then let myself down with my riding. So we're hoping that we would have teamed and gelled together a bit more, yes, and we might even aim to do some Royal International qualifiers, which would be amazing. I mean, even if we could just make it round without demolishing the course, that would be fantastic. What do you think? He says, feed me apples. Oh, what a lovely view of my double chins. So yeah, we're going to book in another lesson with Justine in a couple of weeks, do some more hunting, and this winter homework is to just jump and not worry about the jumps. Oh, is there a disapproval of that? We're not going to worry about the jumps. It's going to be about canter and rhythm. Yes? Thank you so much for watching this week's vlog. Please feel free to like, comment and subscribe, and keep watching to see our progress. Bye!